Morning, van lifers. It's chilly 41 degrees here in Indiana this morning, but it's nice and toasty in the van. I want to show you my newest upgrade here, my newest update. Excuse the trash, but this is what I worked on yesterday. I saw a similar thing in another Chevy Astro van and decided I was going to do something like this. It's a 12-inch piece of pine, and it's almost at its widest at the bottom. I guess it's about 12 inches, well, 11 and a quarter nominal here out, so it fit pretty well top to bottom. I just kind of routed the edge there so it fit in. I'm gonna shut the door behind me because I got the heat going. It's nice and warm in here. It says 78, but it's not. Just turned the heat on. So here's the back side of it. And what I did is attached it with this little 3-section shelf here. Turn some lights on. That didn't really help, but essentially I just have this shelf here. It's got 3 little compartments in it, and added a little cut off of the 1x12 on the end there to support the end. It's affixed to the ground here at that corner, and affixed to the ground at this corner, and affixed through, I believe, what is part of a custom part on the wheelchair lift mod on the van that they did, but there's basically a screw up there. So 3 screws and I can take the whole thing out. So it's very steady, very sturdy, but not permanent. I can take it out if I need to pretty easily and use the room or whatever. Move my little 3-drawer storage from over here over to there. Works pretty well to set my little emergency jug thing for, the cat and dog for water, and if I need to wash my hands in here without going outside, I can do that. I've got this tub on there I thought was going to fit into the hole inside the shelf, but it didn't quite fit. But I've got to get a smaller one, and then I've got this drain hose that runs through the wheel well and goes outside. This shelf gave me a great place to put my little space heater, which, while we're on the topic, let's discuss space heaters. So you go to the store and you buy a space heater. They're all basically 1,500 watts. The $12 one versus the $100 one. The only differences you're looking at are basically the fan, how it moves air, the design as far as the shape and size of it, and then the thermostat, or whether or not you have multiple heat settings. This one, for instance, has a low and a high, so it's either 1,500 watts or half of that, and then you've got an analog thermostat. Most of them are analog. Some are digital. I guess if you pay more, sometimes you get a digital one. That might be advantageous because the analog ones, they don't work very well. It's got probably a 10 or 15 degree temperature range, so in a small space, digital's much better. What I found is I keep this one on the low setting and just keep it set to, about a third of the way on, maybe, and it just runs most of the time and keeps it pretty warm. So anyway, don't spend $100 on a heater, because the $12 one puts out the exact same amount of heat. So unless you're stuck on some sort of a feature, go cheap when you go with the space heater. That way they're easy to replace. I've had this one for probably 2 years, at least a year and a half, and works great. No issues. Got a good fan, and I love it. So anyway, another handy spot for my Bluetooth speaker storage. I've had this thing about as long, if not longer. Great speaker. Can't buy them anymore, but it's portable, and they just kind of sit down there next to my wheel well, but it gives me some space. That's needs to be mounted still. That's my 12-volt supply from my solar, which is back there, and these are my 2 high amperage outlets from the 12-volt from the engine bay. So got those mounted in there. Nice little spot to store my speaker. And anyway, there's my little shelf. I'll give you a couple views from other places here, other ways. Shine a light over there. But yeah, gonna put some storage containers on the outside of here, on the inside of here. Do the same thing. I'll probably hang up most of my cooking things that are down in this drawer currently. So you know, these types of things that I use, my tea strainer and, you know, little warming pot, all those kinds of things can be easily hung up on some little eyelet hooks up there. So I think this worked out pretty well. It was about an $8 or $10 piece of wood, and then I had this shelf, but that could easily be made from, you know, the same piece of wood, another $8 or $10. So hope all is well with everyone's van life, and any questions, feel free to ask. Take care.